The charred remains of a half-dozen apartments are what's left after this fire along Boone Avenue in New Hope.
I grabbed everything I could out my house and went downstairs.
Eric Bronson captured the scene on his phone.
Fire everywhere.
Just after 7:30 Sunday morning.
I hear people yelling, there's kids inside the apartment. Dropped everything in my hand, jumped over the railing, and then went inside there and started pulling people out the fire. You couldn't see anything, so you just had to like feel around with your arms and yell and call out names.
In total, Bronson says he and others rescued 2 children.
People start breaking windows.
And 2 elderly adults.
I did see one guy, couple burnt skins, skin falling off. He had a burnt mark on the center of his head. Other than that, everybody looked like they was real good.
This call was a 3rd alarm fire, so we needed a lot of resources.
West Metro Fire Rescue Chief Sarah Larson says what started as an appliance fire in one unit spread to at least 6 others. She says at this time, the fire appears to have started accidentally. Everyone survived. One person was sent to a hospital, while Larson says several others were treated on scene.
It was very labor intensive. We needed to check every unit and every floor and make sure everybody was out safely.
For Bronson, he says it was his fight or flight instincts that kicked in Sunday morning.
It was either jump in there and do that or sit there and hear people scream.
Actions firefighters are calling commendable.
People are heroes and they come out and do things that they need to do when it's important, and that's an incredible part about our society.
Jason Rantala, KARE 11 News.
All of a sudden there were 2 guys right there at the window, and one of them was holding a gun and pointing it at my head.
It happened inside Melanie McCall's now carless garage in the Linden Hills neighborhood of Minneapolis. It was just after 3 p.m. Saturday, just seconds after turning off her car and checking her phone. She saw 2 males outside her car door and a gun at her head. Her husband in the basement, unaware of the commotion.
I just thought, this is a really bad dream, except I'm not dreaming. I freaked out, and I was shaking.
They took her purse, phone, and both vehicles.
And he said if I looked at him or did anything stupid, he would kill me. We didn't get much sleep last night.
The following day, devoted to putting her and her husband's lives back together. One of nonstop calls with insurance and credit card companies. McCall now has kind neighbors to thank for their help following the carjacking, and Loki and Coco, her noisy companions who alerted her husband.
That's your best defense right there, is 2 barking dogs.
She's now seeking justice.
But we have to address whatever the greater problems are that have brought about such systemic unrest. And so my biggest hope is that enough of a light gets shined on this, that we all start working toward some real substantive change.
Jason Rantala, KARE 11 News.
It's a pretty amazing experience, no matter how many times you do it.
Playing surfaces for major college championships don't just spring up on their own.
Right here.
It all requires months of pre-planning, not to mention heavy lifting.
We really do get excited about events like this.
Jeff Kresa is the VP of Marketing and Strategy for cork manufacturer Connor Sports. The company harvests hard maple tinder in Michigan before it's finished, assembled into 4x7 panels, and trucked to Minneapolis. Each of the 266 panels weighing in at just shy of 200 pounds.
These panels are designed to work together. Once they're clicked into place, it acts as a single system so that that playing surface feels the same as somebody's home court.
Perfect.
The whole process takes about 2 to 3 hours. For Kresa, the reward is seeing months of planning and work come together in the end.
It's really a source of pride for our team.
Jason Rantala, KARE 11 News. Cleanup began immediately here in Apple Valley Saturday night after this tree fell onto a mobile home just east of Cedar Avenue. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Daylight on Sunday revealed the toppled trees that now surround the Cedar Knolls community. Just south of there, this tree fell onto several apartments, damaging patios.
You were super brave?
Yeah.
Good.
An eventful night for Lori Manne and her 3 children.
And I was surprised at the amount of trees down.
All of a sudden we heard a couple of thuds, trees, and our residents, they had their patio furniture go through windows.
While Apple Valley saw the worst of the storm, pockets of the South Metro, like here in Eagan, were also hit.
Most of the damage we've seen has just been isolated to mostly trees. Some trees we have seen have fallen really close to structures, but we haven't seen any major damage of structures.
Melissa Dye with the National Weather Service is out surveying the damage. She says cities like Burnsville and Lakeville were also hit.
We look at the direction the trees fell. With a tornado, they're going to be kind of sporadic and all over the place. Whereas with straight line winds, it'll all be in one direction.
He's a little nervous, nerve-wracking.
Back in Apple Valley, David Grayson says he's glad everyone in his community is safe.
I see we all made it through.
Jason Rantala, KARE 11 News.